Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, this is my review recap for Sistas. Feeling the Heat, Season 5, Episode 13. Child, Maurice said, get up out of here, okay? Play Lotto, don't play me. Get to stepping, all right? And don't bring your ass back. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more. And I was here for every minute of it. I said, don't fall for it, Maurice, okay? I don't know what the hell this prosecutor's problem is, but he has such a daggone hard on, and he trying to sit here and tell lies, 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 and get Maurice to still bend and break and give in Sabrina so that he can walk free. In the meantime, we got Angie over here trying to be nosy. You know, she done pulled Fatima's card with the whole wedding ring thing, and she want her to spill the tea. And Fatima's just basically like, girl, if you was not friends with Karen, okay, and I didn't think you was going to go running back and tell her, then maybe I would tell you some things, all right? And Zach is waiting at home for Fatima. You know, this is one of those scenes that makes us remember why we like Fatima so much and why we root for them, where he's ready to give all his love to her, all right? And he wants to make him his, you know, make her his forever lady. And he's over here trying to let them hurry up and get married. But she like, wait a minute, hold up. We gonna have to bring Karen in and have a daggone discussion before we do all of that, boo. You know, Preston is at home waiting for Danny. And I'm saying, Danny, what are you doing? Why am I seeing this scene with you and Q, all right? I do not want to see Q. Please get out of here with this Q shit. Throw him in the trash, the trash, the trash, the trash. I say, I'm so sick of him, all right? And when she finally get home, Preston want to talk to her about some things. And he said, okay, go hang with your girls for a minute. But when you get back, we going to have to address some stuff, all right? In the meantime, Sabrina is at home, and we got Calvin trying to come up and give her, you know, a little update. And we got, oh, what's his name? Bio just popping up talking about he been checking on her and it was 4 missed calls or whatever the case may be, and he came by 3 times. We don't care about her. I still don't trust you. I still don't know what the heck you into. You know, what is Karen gonna be doing? I'm watching you, Karen boo, because I see for the next scenes it look like she see that damn ring and like she about to lose her mind. So is she about to tell Aaron the baby is his? Okay, let's see, y'all. Let's see and take this episode from the top and get on into it. So like I said, we started out with Maurice. He's sitting here talking to the prosecutor. Now, he's steadily trying to tell Maurice, like, you know, go ahead, you know, sign these papers. He was like, she sure as hell didn't have no problem with signing and say you did this. And Maurice is telling him, listen, get out of here with these reindeer games. I don't believe not one word you saying. I don't believe you for a second, a minute, or an hour, okay? You expect me to really fall for this? And he is basically saying that he is telling the truth. He's like, you don't have to. I got her signature on this document. Go ahead and look at it. And he was like, listen, I'm not dumb, okay? So he was like, I'm from the hood. I don't fall for all this mess you trying to come in here and play with. And so he was like, that don't mean that she signed the paperwork. Then he gonna talk about something. Well, I'm gonna show you the video. He said, oh, there's a video, really? He was like, so how do I know that she signed in that particular document in the video? That could be anything. You know, he talking about, look at it. Maurice told him, go to hell. Okay, go straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And so basically he was like, you trying to feed me all this bullshit. You steadily lying to me. He was like, I know it's bullshit. And prosecutors talking about, no, I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. He was like, well, you would be surprised what people will admit to when they got 30 years on the line. So Maurice is like 30 years. And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to go for here. I'm trying to give out 30 years. All right. And he was like, that's what I'm asking for. And so Maurice is basically like, He says, well, we didn't do shit, so how you asking for that? He said, yeah, says you. He was like, no. He was like, that's what not what Sabrina said. Maurice was basically like, well, that's what I'm telling you, okay? So he's sitting there with this little smug smile on his face, and I just want to slap it off of it, right? And Maurice basically was like, nah, I don't believe you. I'm sorry. So he was like, well, I just thought that you should know. He said, leave me the hell alone, okay? Maurice was like, leave me alone. Please don't come back, and do not bring me back in here anymore. You know, prosecutor talking about, I hear you. And Maurice was like, good. Okay. He was like, Sabrina would never. And so he talking about, well, she did. And he was like, I noticed you haven't been making any calls. You know, you haven't called anyone. So Maurice was like, excuse me. He was like, yeah, we know when you make calls and we haven't seen you make any. He's like, okay, leave me alone. All right, leave me alone. What part you do not understand? Like, I ain't call nobody and I ain't call your ass either, but you seem to keep coming in here bothering me. All right, he didn't say that. I'm saying that, but child, I know that's what he meant. And so basically he was like, you know, just telling him, don't call me in here no more. He was like, you damn bitch, you know, F you. And so finally prosecutor got ahead and get up out his face. Now, in the meantime, we pick back up with Andy and Fatima in this office. At this point, she is telling her, congratulations, girl. I'm so happy for you. Like, that's what's up. That's good news. And Fatima's telling her, like, yeah, you know, I'm very happy or whatever. However, comma, okay. Basically, I didn't really want to talk about this and go forward until he's able to have a conversation with Karen. Now, of course, as soon as she bring up Karen's name, here go Andy. And taking a big breath and everything being all damn exaggeration, you know, and she tells her that she don't have to worry about her telling Karen anything, okay? That is just going to be between them. She was like, you know, I wouldn't do that. And so she basically, you know, switches the conversation, of course. She don't want to talk about Zach. She starts showing her the picture saying, this is my plant that I done put in here with Hayden, okay? She's going to take everything that he's got and give it to him, okay? And so Andy over here talking about, I'm confused. And she was like, it's just somebody that he could fall from. So she was like, you know, Fatima, this is kind of scary, okay? This is real scary to me. Fatima talking about, girl, I'm not scary. You know, I don't mess with nobody unless they mess with me. Now, I hear you, Fatima. I hear you. But girl, yeah, you kind of scary, okay? We not gonna lie. Fatima gets it in, but I'm here for every minute of it. And so she basically was telling her, you know, if this is going to be the way to get his behind to stop, then this is what we got to do. So she was like, well, you know, how do you know her? Is this somebody from your cousin? And she said, yep, this is somebody that's he going to fall for. He not going to know what hit him. So she was like, well, when you say hit him, is he going to remain alive? Okay. Inquiring minds want to know. And so she's like, Fatima, is he going to remain alive? She was like, yeah, girl, you know. So she's like, he gonna live, girl, like, oh my gosh, or whatever, right? He'll live. So she says she gotta go. So Andy's still sitting here talking about, no, you don't, and still trying to talk to her like, you still ain't telling me whether you gonna marry him or not. You just told me that he asked the question, you know. So she was like, well, you know, I love Zach. Okay, God knows I do. And, you know, Andy agreeing like, yeah, I know you love him. And, you know, I know he loves you. She was like, yeah, he loves me. I love him. That's clear as day. He makes it clear every day or whatever, right? But, of course, until this situation is straight with Karen and this baby, then, you know, I don't know. So here go Andy again. She was like, girl, what is with you in these faces? She said, I don't know how the hell you even became a lawyer because you have absolutely no poker face, right? And of course, this is something that they all say about Andy. And damn, you know, Robin was even just mentioning this last week, right? And so she was like, you know, we both know that until that's settled, we really can't move forward or whatever. And she's asking Andy, what the hell do you know? You know, oh, okay, so you got a little secret. That's cool. And Andy talking about, well, you got a secret too, okay? She was like, you keeping a secret about this whole marriage thing and whether you going to get married or not. You know, what's this going to be? And so, you know, Fatima's just still like, look, until we handle this situation with Karen and the baby, ain't no answers on that, right? And every time you turn around, Andy making faces looking like she preparing for damn labor, okay, over here doing damn breathing exercises. And she's like, girl, there go that face again. What the hell is it with you taking all these damn deep breaths over here, okay? So Fatima just started laughing or whatever, and she was like, well, I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to wait. I'm going to see what happens with the child support, you know, situation before me and Zach get married and make sure that he is financially stable or whatever, and he can handle everything. You know, with both his baby mothers coming up against him and Hayden representing one of them, you know, we don't know what the heck could end up. So, of course, Andy's like, what? And she was like, yeah, you know, she was here the other day with him trying to prep her. So she said, you know, she going to stick behind him, but she got to see what what's going to happen and how everything is going to boil down first. So Andy was like, I understand that. And she was like, you do? She was like, yeah. She said, well, great. Okay. Now that we got that cleared up, I'm taking my behind home and getting up out of these daggone shoes. Andy talking about they having a girls' night tonight. And she was like, oh, okay. And Andy was like, excuse me. She was like, girl, now what does that look? She said, look, I don't mean to, be funny. But since Karen is pregnant, it's going to either be drama or, some shenanigans, whatever. Y'all have fun, especially with her being pregnant. I can tell you right now, that's probably going to be a hot mess. I'm going to see you later, and Andy is telling her, girl, yeah, go ahead, get home and get out of those shoes. And so we get to damn Q and freaking Danny at the damn airport. And I'm like, wow, why are we mixing in Q with Danny? Like, nobody wants to see this. Not one person asked for this. He talking about can I walk you to your car? She's like, no, I got it. He's like, come on, Danny. She's like, there's cameras everywhere. I'm okay. He talking about he gonna help or whatever, and he could be his ass again. And she was like, you know what? Come on and buy me a drink. I said, no, Danny, don't go with him no damn way. I cannot wait for her to realize who the hell he really is. And he talking about oh, no, 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 I don't buy no drinks. Then he talking about, okay, well, yeah, I'll buy a drink or whatever the case may be. And so he was like, well, you could have a hit off this pen and all this other stuff, and then she's basically like, nah. And so she was like, well, no, he actually was trying to say he wanted to hit off the pen, and she was like, she don't have one. And he was like, Danny, then she like, okay, well, you could go ahead and you could walk me to the car, right? And then they saying how it's a bar close by that they could have some drinks at. And I'm saying, no, Danny, please do not go and chill with this dude nowhere, okay? Please, please, please. But does she listen? No. Okay, she said, you could have one hit and you could walk me to my car. I said, why, Danny, why? Now, I don't want him to take a hit off Danny Penn. What I want Danny to do is hit him with the damn car, just like she did old dude. I don't understand why we trying to mix them in together, okay? It's really making me sick to my stomach. I could care less about this dude. But nonetheless, they go ahead and they agree that they going to go ahead to this bar that's close by and they going to have this drink, all right? And so moving on from them, because really I'm just so mad that Tyler is making this guy a regular freaking character. Like, why are we supposed to care about him now? But we have Maurice call up Calvin, right? And he is basically saying, like, is Sabrina trying to tell on me? Is she supposed to be, setting me up and saying that I'm the one that did all of this? And Calvin is telling him, no, okay, absolutely not. He's like, you sure? And he's like, yeah, what the heck you think? I'm a lie? You think she lying? He was like, no, she didn't have nothing to do with that. And Maurice is saying, well, then how the heck did she get out? And he's basically like, Andy helps her get out. He like, that's interesting, And he was like, what? You don't believe me? He just keeps asking him that over and over. And he was like, I'm telling you, Sabrina didn't have nothing to do with that. And so he lets him know, well, they are basically saying that if I say she did it, then I could get out or whatever. And so he's like, well, don't do that. He's like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, I mean, I'm saying that I'm tired of being in here and I need to know what's what before I do something stupid. And Calvin was like, what? And he was like, break out this bitch, okay? Maurice is over it. So he was like, I got to get out of here. He was like, you are going to get out of there. Just hold on, don't do nothing. And then, Maurice is telling him, okay, hurry up. And so he was basically like, he will. He was like, of course, Sabrina would never do nothing like that to you. You know what I'm saying? So then they go ahead and they hang up. I said, poor Maurice, get Maurice out, okay? Free Maurice. So he needs to be out. Now, we get to Zach waiting outside to see Daggone Fatima pull up in her car. He's talking about, yeah, baby is home. Baby is home, okay? And these is the parts, like I said, that we love about Zatima, while we root for them, when he's being authentic like this, when they sharing they love with each other and being real with each other. He over here holding the door open for her, talking about, come on, baby, here you go, looking all around, talking about my baby is home. I've been waiting for you. What's up, beautiful? Let me close the door for you. And he like, follow me, follow me. So she like, Zach, what the heck is going on? What are you up to? Okay, what are you doing? And he was like, well, first of all, how was your day? She's like, it was good, it was good, it was good. How, what are you doing? And he was like, well, you know what the best part of my day is? And she was like, what? He was like, when you come home. She was like, really? He was like, yes, it is. She said, well, why are you always saying the right things? And he was like, listen, one of the things I don't do, okay, is always say the right things. And she was like, well, you sure are saying them now. And he told her he have this surprise for her. So she like, a surprise? He like, yeah, a surprise. He was like, close your eyes. She said, okay. So he walking ahead talking about, all right, follow me. She was like, now how the heck I'm supposed to follow you when my eyes is closed? Zach is over here talking about, girl, you done been in this house a million times. You don't know which way to walk. But then he's like, I'm just playing. And he basically comes out for her, tells her, watch her step and is the grass and all of that. And she's good, relax herself, follow him. He got her, he got her, he got her. And so she go ahead and she follow him in the house, and it ends up being this layout that he have where he done made a little dinner. I don't know if he made it or he bought it, one or the other. Okay, he talking about he done been to 3 different gas stations looking for this wine. She was like, gas stations? Okay, he kind of turned her off with that. When they come in and her eyes was closed, he had took her bag and stuff from her and was like, hold on a minute, and then came back and basically was like, you could open your eyes now. And she just was like, oh, okay, thank you, that's so sweet. And he was like, you ain't really liking it, are you? And so basically he was like, well, it's more than just the dinner. What he really want to tell her is that he want to get married right now. He's heard everything that she said and how she broke it down. And basically he feels like they should go to the justice of peace. They should do it old school style. And they should go ahead and say they I do's, okay? He tired of waiting. And she was like, no, Zach, we are not going to do that. She was like, first of all, okay, we are going to go ahead and have a big wedding. I want a big wedding. I want my family and friends to be there. I want it to be able to be in a church. So that justice of the peace is going to be a big no for me. Okay. And he was like, first of all, what the hell you talking about? You want it in a church? You don't even go to church. And he was like, how's your family going to be walking into church when they be out here killing people? All right. He said that would be like daggone vampires coming out in the daylight. So she was like, well, first of all, that goes to show how much you know about things, because church is basically not just, a building or whatever. Church is where you are. So he's like, okay, come on, Pastor Fatima. I'm sorry, y'all. I hope that y'all can hear me good, because my voice is going now at this point. All right. So, she's just like, wait, what? Like, where's all this coming from? He said he know about everything she said, and he checked into everything with Georgia and all of that, and he know everything. But, at the end of the day, this is what he want. He don't care about the taxes, the debt, and all of that stuff. He just really want to get married now. And she was like, listen, I want to marry you too. Like, I'm all in, but I want us to be able to do it the right way, not like this. And another thing that she wants him to do is call up Karen and tell her behind that they need to have a conversation. They need to talk. He needs to speak to her first. So he's like, I know you did not just say that to me. Like, are you serious right now? And she's like, yes, I am absolutely okay saying that to you. So he's saying, okay, yeah, he will do that. But let's go ahead and sit down and eat, okay, before we lose our daggone appetites and have some of this food. And she's like, no, I want you to do it right now. So he was like, oh, hell no, then we really gonna lose our appetites. In the meantime, she's also saying she got DD. And he's like, well, what the heck is DD? She was like, dick to pride. I said, I know that's right, Fatima. Okay, so she said, honey, if you want to get into this food, get into that wine, and get into me, then you are gonna have to have a conversation with Miss Karen. So he's like, okay, but can we eat first and then do it afterwards? And she's like, no, I want you to do it now. Then mind you, she throws Heather up in there too. So he was like, oh Lord, now we really gonna lose our appetites and everything gonna get ruined. He was like, I don't care, I'm hungry, so I want to eat my food first. And if you want your night to be ruined afterwards, then knock yourself out. She talking about, no, our nights is not going to be ruined. We going to be okay. Go ahead, call her now. So he was still trying to be like, wait, let him grab the wine off the table. And she was like, nah, you could go ahead and leave that wine there. And, he telling her, damn, you damn bougie, okay? You acting like you too good for the wine, okay? Again, he went to 3 gas stations to get this wine. So they go ahead and sit down to make this call, with Karen. He had to relax, relate, release, and take some damn breaths before he could go ahead and dial up Karen's number, He didn't want nothing to mess up the evening, and she's steadily he's steadily telling her that nothing is gonna mess up the evening. Don't worry about it. I said, I don't know about that, Fatima. Okay, are we 100% sure that ain't nothing gonna mess it up, girl? Because we are talking about Karen. If we was talking about other people, then I may agree with you. Now, in the meantime, Miss Karen did lay down Sabrina's hair. Okay, she got Sabrina's hair laid down, honey. All right, got them twists popping up and out of there. I said, okay, I see you, Brina. And Brina's just looking in the mirror and loving what she's seeing, feeling real good about herself, rejuvenated and refreshed. And Pam over here still telling her, like, girl, I liked, what I'm saying, the natural hair. And then she's telling her, yeah, I liked it too. So she was like, well, what's the problem? Why didn't you want to keep it that way? I'm confused. What was really going on? Of course, everybody don't know where Sabrina has been. And so she's basically just switches the conversation, like, I'm going to go ahead and get over to Andy's. And Karen is telling her, yeah, that's fine. And she was trying to take out the money and pay Karen. And Karen was like, hell no, girl. Like, you ain't got to give me no money. And she's like, I could pay. She was like, yeah, I know you can, but you don't have to. Okay, I got you. And so Sabrina's basically telling her thank you. And I did like that part too as well. Even though Karen can annoy me when it comes to the whole Zach thing, I do like seeing her being a real friend to Sabrina during this time and hooking up her hair and all of that. And so she tells Pam she gonna get ready to get on up out of there, okay, that she turned everything off and it's gonna be up to her to lock up the spot. And Pam is like, girl, I got you. She's like, yeah, you saying you got me this time, but you ain't have me the last time. And she's like, come on, girl, I got you. So she's like, okay. Now, in the mix of her getting ready to say that she's going to go ahead and get out of there and that she have to go by the bank, we now have Zach actually making the phone call to her, right? Because I think was it before he called or after? I'm trying to remember. Because she had said she was going by Andy's house too or whatever, right? I think it was before. So she gets the call from Zach and them, right? Him and Fatima sitting side by side and they got it on speakerphone. And he's basically saying to her, like, okay, hi, I want to speak to you. I thought that it would be important that me and you speak, Fatima on the side going, and me. So he's like, me, you, and Fatima meet, somewhere and talk. And then Fatima's going, the house here. So he's like, okay, well, you want to meet at the house? So she's like, oh, now I could come to your house? Of course, Karen can't just say yes or no. She was like, am I going to be able to come in this time, or are you going to talk to me from outside? So he was like, whenever you free. So she said, well, I was supposed to meet the girls in an hour. I could stop by. So he like, an hour? Damn. She's like, girl, perfect. Go ahead. So he said, okay, you got the address, right? She said, yeah, I got the address. So he says, okay, looking forward to seeing you, see you then. So here go Fatima looking at him when he said looking forward, but it's like Zach don't know what to do at this point. So as soon as she hangs up, she's calling Andy like, yo, did you tell them, I guess about the baby and, all of that. And Andy's like, no, what are you talking about? Wow, what happened? And she's like, because they're basically telling me that they want me to come by the house. So she was like, really? Wow, that's strange. She was like, well, when are you going? So she tells Andy, well, I was going to stop by there on my way to them, that, on my way to you rather, that's what I just told them. So Andy was like, well, I'm going to meet you there. She's like, what? Why? She was like, girl, because you carry a gun and then Fatima carry a gun. I don't trust it. Okay, I will see you there. I'm on my way. So she go ahead and say, she's coming. And as soon as she hang up the phone, she call up Fatima and she's like, girl, what is going on? Y'all done asked, Karen to come over there for what exactly? And so Fatima's like, yeah, we want to have this conversation with her. So she's like, yeah, girl, no, I'm going to be there. And Fatima's like, what? She was like, yes, I'm on my way. Fatima's like, okay, see you when you get here. So she tells Zach, like, that was Andy. She's on her way. He was like, damn it, now she coming too. He was like, I keep telling you I don't want to be involved with this daggone sister circle, and you keep finding a way to put me back in there. So I thought that was funny, all right? She was like, nah, I don't trust neither one of y'all fools. I'm coming. I want to know what the heck is going on. And of course, Karen is saying this is weird. So now we get Danny and damn cute child at this restaurant again. Could have kept this scene out. He trying to beat her in the head and cheese and smile all up in her damn face or whatever. And she's telling him she got some people to meet. He talking about some, oh, if I can't come over to your house. And she's like, no, you can't. I was glad she was, knocking him out quick. And he talking about he learned his lesson and all this crap. Well, rather, she says she learns her lesson, and he was like, what's that? And she was like, about having batshit crazy people coming over. And so she said it's still basically a no, and he was like, well, you got my number, you know who you could call and all of this. So basically Q was just homeless, a little hobo that's looking for a damn place to stay, and he thinks Danny could be the next spot. No, okay, get the heck up out of here. So she was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get out. And he talking about some he was going to counter something. She was like, listen, I ain't nobody got time for this. She was, saying that she terrible bad. She was like, I'm sorry, excuse me. And she was like, I'm trying to leave, thank you. And she was like, I appreciate it. And she just got up and got up out of there. And I was like, thank you, Danny. Please run, 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 run. She told him, don't call me if you get into trouble. He gonna talk about something. I'm not gonna be getting into no trouble or whatever. And she left. Why we even had that scene in here, I don't know, child. I could have did without it. So moving on from them, that really was a waste of space. We basically had, Calvin come over to let Sabrina know what was going on, and that he had got the phone call from Maurice or whatever. And so, he comes and knocks at the door, whatever, and she tell him he could come in. And he begins to tell her, like, I was checking on you and I wanted to let you know that I heard from Maurice. So she was like, what did he say? And he basically was letting her know, like, they trying to basically have him tell that you did it. And he was asking how you got out and all of that. And so she basically was like, well, he says they are going to pin it on him if he doesn't say it's you. And she was like, do you think he's going to do that? He's like, no. She was like, do you think he will? Do you think he believes me? She was like, I hope so. So she says she going to talk to Andy about it. And he was like, yeah, I would talk to Andy real quick. So she said, okay, I'm supposed to see her in a little bit, and I'm going to talk to her when I get home. So now here come Bayo knocking at the damn door, and she's just basically like, come in. I guess she probably thought it was one of the girls. And he opens the door. Of course, they both are shocked that it is him. And he's like, I've been calling you. I was starting to get worried. I done came by here 3 times looking for you. So she just tells him that she needed time. Okay, she was dealing with some things, and she's like, here go Calvin. Hello, you don't see me here. And he talking about something, I see you now. And so she basically was like, I'm gonna give you a call later. And he said, you sure? And she said, yeah. And so he got ahead to leave, right? And so Calvin is basically like, oh, well, I just was coming by to tell you about that. I can leave if you want me to, and you could call him back. So she tells him no. Okay, I don't want you to leave, and I don't want to call him back. She was like, I just don't want drama right now. After coming out and dealing with everything that I've dealt with, that's not what I'm trying to do. And he was like, yeah, I'm not saying nothing. He was like, I can understand that. So she tells him she got hair all over her dress. She want to change before she going out. But if he want to stay a little longer and talk and have a conversation with her, that's fine. And he was like, yeah, okay, he's down with that. He will stay and talk. So I said, okay, Calvin, I see you. We know you was still mad about the Bayo thing. I actually forgot about that, and I'm surprised Tyler Perry even brought it back in. Now, in the meantime, Hayden and Tamara is here at this office, child, and she is beating him in his head. He loving every single freaking minute of it, okay? And how he thinks that this is really somebody that really want to get with him is just hilarious to me. She's saying, oh, everybody's gone. I'm sorry for holding you up. He talking about, oh, no, it's fine. Trust me. She was like, I kept you here for a long time with all my drama. He like, I don't mind. She was like, yeah, you don't mind because you such a sweet man. He like, thank you. So she was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, though. But I hope I'm not out of line. And he's like, what? She was like, are you single? So at first he was like, well, and she was like, no, you're married. Somebody, as handsome and sophisticated and good as you and successful definitely has to be married. And he was like, no, well, I'm definitely not. She was like, what? She was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Wow. And he's like, yeah. And so she basically was like, well, someone should have snatched you up already. You know what I'm saying? Why haven't they? And he was like, I'm taking my time. I said, yeah, right. So she was like, I see. And he was like, yeah. So she was like, well, I should go. So when she stands up and he stands up, she talking about, oh my. And he was like, what? And she was like, your heart or whatever the case may be. And he was like, oh no, I'm not. And she was like, I'm so embarrassed. Yes, you are. He's like, no, I'm not. He's talking about, oh, this is just how it is. I'm not hard. And she talking about, oh, well, I wish you was. So then she gonna talk about some, hope I'm not being too forward or whatever, but I don't know if you would mind going out for a drink with me. Yeah, I would. He real thirsty and answering real daggone fast. And so she was like, oh, okay, cool. So he was like, where at? And she was like, at my house. Of course, he's like, yeah, he talking about he could drive. She was like, well, why don't we just meet each other? So he was like, okay. So she basically was like, she would go ahead and text him. She was like, or we could just, leave out now. He was like, okay, right behind you. I'm going to follow you. So daggone, Hayden is happier than the damn kid in the damn candy store right now, child. He really think he hit the daggone jackpot. He don't see nothing funny about this situation now. In the meantime, Danny come home. She's telling Preston, how was your day? What did you do? Oh, well, I was just here thinking about you. She was like, really? You spent the whole time thinking about me? You ain't think about that girl that you were saying you wanted to get married? He was like, well, that's what made me think about you. So he was like, but we do need to talk for a minute. Now, at first, she telling him, no, she don't got time. She just want to get in the shower. She got to get out here to the girls. He like, I hear you, what I'm saying? I'm going to let you do that, but can you please sit here and talk with me for a minute? So she's like, okay. So she sit there and he's basically like, the landlord told me she seen you hit somebody with a damn car. So she like, So he like, you did hit somebody with a car? She's like, yeah, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go into all of that right now. So then he's like, she also says somebody hit you. And she was like, oh, she was basically listening through the walls because there's no way that she would have been able to see that. So he was like, what? And again, she's saying, she do not want to talk about this right now. She was like, damn, this nosy lady, and she run her damn mouth too much. So he was like, I'm not bugging. I did just hear you say that she couldn't have possibly seen it. So somebody did hit you. And she's like, I don't want to have this conversation. So he's basically like, okay. So she says, thank you for being respectful. Thank you for understanding. And thank you for not bringing it up. I really do appreciate that. And, Preston basically was like, no, I'm not going to be respectful at all, okay? I'm not going to be respectful, and I do want to talk about this, and we are going to get into it again. However, okay, comma, but we are not going to get into it right now. You go ahead and you hang out with the girls. Do what you got to do, and when you come back, we are going to finish this conversation. I do want to know what's going on because he was saying to her, I just want you to know that whatever it is, I am here for you and you can talk to me. And she was basically like, yeah, I get it. So she's basically like, am I dismissed now? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, okay, like, captain or whatever, right? And I know that's kind of annoying for Danny and hard for her. She don't want to tell him this. She don't want to open up to him. And she probably don't want to hear him telling her, oh, well, you shouldn't have had him here. Or why was he here? And those different type of things. But I do appreciate the fact that Preston was letting her know, like, girl, we going to talk about this, one time or another. But go ahead and do what you got to do now. I'm not going to bother you right now about it. All right. And quite frankly, instead of wasting that time where she was sitting talking around with damn Q, she should have been there talking with damn Preston in the first place. And she told him to wait there for her. Okay. But I digress, moving right along. And so going from there, by now we have Tamara actually calling Fatima to give her an update and let her know, like, girl, yeah, what I'm saying, got him. All right, he's about to take me out for some drinks. We about to go get it in. What exactly do you want me to do? And she was like, I just want you to make it where he is not going to be thinking about me and bothering me in my situation no more. And Tamara's like, I got you. Okay, cool. I will be calling you with an update. But, Fatima was like, all right, give me the updates. That's good. But I don't want too much information. I just want you to go ahead and do what you got to do where he's concerned. So she's like, fine. They hang up. Now, Andy and Karen pull up at the house at the same time or whatever, and Karen is still pretty much like, girl, you done ran over here like that or whatever. What are you all nervous and jittery for? And Andy's like, because I just want to make sure what's going on, you don't find this weird. And Karen is like, yeah, a little bit. And then she's telling Karen, don't you want to leave that purse in the damn car? I don't think you need it because we know she carries the damn gun in the purse. And so she's like, no, I don't know if this is a setup, so I'm bringing it in with me. And I'm like, really, Karen? What the hell setup is it going to be, girl? Bye. Okay, whatever. And so anyway, She was like, you sure you didn't tell them nothing? You acting really funny. Did you tell her? And Andy like, no, I didn't. She was like, I'm curious as to what the heck they want you here for too. So she's like, okay. So they finally go up to the door. They knock or whatever. And Fatima's like, come on in. Welcome to our home. Have a seat, and Karen sits in the single chair, by herself, and Zach and Fatima was sitting on the other chair, and damn Andy just like hunched herself right on in, pushing them over, whatever the case may be. So it's three of them on that seat, and it's Karen on the other seat, and they basically all just staring at each other, and Fatima's like, are you ready to talk? And that was how the episode ended, y'all. And when we see next week's scenes, honey, we got Karen going off, talking about how she don't like seeing these damn pictures on the wall, basically reverting right back to the old bull crap. Sees the ring on the damn table and looks crazy shocked. And then we seeing something where she looked like she talking to Aaron, talking about I got something to tell you. I said, if she turn around and try to tell him that that's his baby all of a sudden again, I'm going to be pissed. I'm over it. Like, how many times we going to have her going backwards? She was doing so much better. She just finished telling Andy 5 seconds before that, I'm good. But now you're not going to be good because he got a ring. What difference does that make you? As long as he takes care of his child and his responsibility that he have with you, I'm confused, girl. But that's what it was, y'all. Put it in the comments. Anything that I missed, you know what I'm saying? Put it in there. Let's talk about it down below. We will get into it down there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are so inclined, give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all.